Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be using colored pencils and gouache to color and design an original character. I'll be taking you guys with me on this entire journey, so let's jump right into it. So there was one word and one word only that was on my mind when I first started this entire process, and that word was butterflies. I wanted this character to be completely obsessed with butterflies for whatever reason. And once I made that one decision, the rest of the design decisions were made pretty quickly. So for example, I knew that for the colors, I wanted the colors to be super soft and pastels. Then for the outfit, I wanted this character to really embrace her feminine or her girly side. So I decided to go with a skirt and an oversized sweater thing. I don't even know what it is, but on the sweater, I wanted a butterfly obviously to be the main focus, so a little graphic design on our sweatshirt. And then towards the end of this design process, I was I wanted to include some bows somewhere on the outfit, but I didn't really know where to include it. So then I'm okay, maybe this character can have some socks, and then on the top of the socks just include some bows. So that's what I did. And then I decided to also add a bag to this character because I was thinking maybe they were running some errands and they were trying to carry their journal, their diary, or whatever. Yeah, I could totally just envision this character walking around in some nature scene, like a park or something. So yeah. And then for this entire sketchbook spread, I really wanted this to be a character reference sheet or a cheat sheet for this character. So for example, if I ever wanted to go back and redraw this character for whatever reason, I would have this as a guide. So I wanted to draw her in different poses, in different facial expressions. So on the left side is the full body drawing, and then on the right side is the different facial expressions. I don't really know if I did that great of a job of being consistent with this character. I was really trying to understand this character in a personal level and literally try to memorize all the details of this character, from down to the number of bangs she has on her forehead to the shape of her eyebrows. But for whatever reason, I did struggle with this a little bit, just a tiny bit. For example, on the drawing on the left side, for whatever reason, I didn't include her eyebrows. I think it's partly because of the bangs. They were to blame. Literally, they took up quite a bit of her forehead, and there was not much real estate left for her eyebrows. So, but I did add eyebrows on the drawings on the right side of the page, which I thought was good because I want the facial expressions to be lively, and eyebrows really help convey different facial expressions. So yeah. And then another fun thing I did with this illustration was that on the sides of the sketchbook spread, I just wrote down little notes and stuff about the character, just information about the character. So I have my sketchbook out with me right now as I'm doing this voiceover, so I can just go over it. So the name that it came up with was Willow, which I thought was pretty good because this character is obsessed with nature and all that. And then her age, I put down 17 as her age. So then for her job, I was what occupation should she have? What's a common job that teenagers have? And I'm most of them have small gigs at the movie theater, right? Just a part-time job or something. So I went with that. And then for her likes and dislikes, her likes, she really likes bubble tea. She's into indie pop. She likes to do DIY crafts in her free time. Then for her dislikes, she really hates crowds, and then rainy days, and then finally bitter foods. And honestly, I am the same way. I hate bitter foods like broccoli or any healthy foods for that matter. I'm just joking. And then I started painting the character. So it's time for me to confess something to you guys. With the last time when I was using these paints, I kind of got up from my desk and I completely forgot about these paints that were lying on my palette. So what happened was that when I came back, I noticed that my palette had a bunch of dried paint on it and it was super duper crusty and I didn't even know what to do with it. So I just threw that palette into my drawer and just left it in there. So then when I was creating this illustration, I'm like looking at this palette, I'm like, what do I do with it? So I added a little bit of water and tried to give it a new life, and that seemed to work out pretty well. You know, the squash paint is pretty nice. So a lot of these colors was from my previous illustration, and I'm just using it here. And so that's why, like, you know, if you don't see that palette at any part of this video, that's why. That's the reason why. I just didn't want you guys to see that mess. And yeah, then I took out my acrylic markers and I added some designs to her bag. I just felt like, for whatever reason, the bag and the sweatshirt, like, really, there was no contrast between those two, and it just kind of muddled up together. So I did go back again with like a dark acrylic marker. I think this is pretty much close to the final illustration. I think I do show the final drawing, but yeah, I hope this inspires you guys to draw and to design some of your own original characters. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you all so much for watching.